final preseason game. LeBron, KCP, Kuz, Anthony Davis, and Marc Gasol. I think everyone just assumes Schroeder's going to slide into that spot. Kuz will come off the bench with Harrell, Caruso, and, you know, as deep as the Lakers are, we talk a lot about it. Okay, I want to get a lineup from you guys. AK, I'm going to start with you. This is not your starting lineup. This is not your closing lineup. This is your favorite lineup that you want to see, your favorite combination. Give it to him.
Well, I'm really intrigued right now to see what I think will be the second unit. And I got to disagree with you, Geeter. I think Dennis Schroeder ultimately is going to end up coming off the bench more because I think that's best for the Lakers. AC, Markieff Morris, Montrezl Harrell, and then I'm going to shoot the moon here with THT. Ooh. But I think you also could potentially see Wes Matthews there, potentially Kuzma. But what matters here is that this second unit gels and plays really well together, because when you take into account the context of this season, how long it stretched out, and then how short the offseason was, the mileage on LeBron, and the way last season the Lakers often cratered whenever LeBron was off the floor, not even for that long. And also, you know, Anthony Davis carried a pretty big burden last season as well. It is crucial that you can put a second unit out there that, forget just matching buckets, can actually build leads. I think it's going to make it the easiest way to allow LeBron and AD to recharge from last season. So this second unit is really critical. I really want to see what it looks like.
Quickly, AK, I don't disagree that Schroeder might be better for this team coming off the bench, but do you agree that he's probably going to start? How long into the season do you think until he goes off the bench?
I hope that if the Lakers ultimately think that that's what's best for the team, that he comes off the bench, they just do it right away.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you might as well just hit the ground running with this. Schroeder's going to play big minutes, and I think what matters most is if he actually closes games. But I just think it makes more sense for him to be coming off the bench. Either way, I think he's going to be playing a ton of minutes with that second unit.
All right, Prez, we know how deep this team is. Is there a combination, maybe a favorite lineup of yours early on that you want to see?
Yeah, it's kind of like the one we showed earlier, the starting lineup from that last preseason game. I'd probably sub Schroeder in there for KCP. I like guys that can score and shoot. And I think you get this with pretty much all these guys who are not afraid to put the ball in the air. Marc Gasol, kind of the straw that stirs the drink as far as a post player who likes setting up his guys. All these guys have range. All these guys can put 20 up in a game. Maybe not Marc Gasol anymore. He only averaged about 8 points last season in Toronto. But I just like the fact that he can really extend the offense out beyond the three-point line and also get a few nice assists like we saw a lot during the preseason.
I think it'll change from time to time. Do you guys have an odd man out? Like that 11th guy, Markieff Morris, THT. I mean, remember Markieff last year, then all of a sudden he was a big-time player in the playoffs.
It might be THT. I mean, and good for him for showing us what he could do in the preseason. Not a lot of run for him in that fourth and final preseason game. He's still a young guy. He's still one of the youngest guys in the entire league, right?
Yeah.
And, I think Frank Vogel might say, okay, we know what we have with him. Let's let the vets kind of marinate on this season, try to get it back-to-back.
And as the season goes, he finds a way to get him in.
Exactly. I mean, if there were such thing as seeding games again this year, I think we'd see a lot of THT in those. Or if the Lakers kind of run away with the West, and then you throw THT in some of the meaningless games.
Brett sounded really smart, AK, so we're going to leave it at that. and we're going to go to Brad. I don't want you to ruin it for him.
First time ever.